Hello, and welcome to Stef Talks Trash. I'm your host, Stephanie Valentic, Editorial Director of Waste360. Today I'm talking trash with Jennifer Holmgren, the CEO of Lanzatech. Lanzatech is a company that has developed a technology to convert waste carbon into everyday products and fuel. We'll hear from Jennifer about the company's technology and about its new partnership with Lululemon. Let's talk to Jennifer.
Yeah, so first of all, it's really great to be here because I love talking trash, and that is what we do. So my name is Jennifer Holmgren. I'm the CEO of Lanzatech, and I came to Lanzatech after working for 20 years at a company that develops technology for the refining industry. And so I've done a lot of scaling of new technologies to convert petroleum to products. And here I have the opportunity to convert waste to products. And I'm a chemist by training, and I absolutely love the idea that everything we use is going to someday come from trash.
So what exactly is Lanzatech doing with carbon emissions?
Yeah, so we have a bacteria that eats and ferments carbon emissions. So it uses gases instead of sugar. So used to fermentation to make beer. Well, we ferment, but we ferment whatever would normally come out the flue of a steel mill or a refinery. And we convert that to ethanol. And it's a very efficient process. It looks like a little refinery. And what it does is we're literally preventing carbon dioxide from heading out of the flue into our atmosphere.
So tell me about some of the grants you've received to kind of advance this technology. I recently read that you received a $4.1 million grant from the Department of Energy. What will these grants be used for? And in the long run, how is this going to help promote sustainable business practices?
Absolutely. Yeah, so the grant that we received from ARPA-E was specifically to convert CO2 emissions. So whether you directly air capture them or you prevent them from going out the flue, and convert that with hydrogen to products that we use in our daily lives. So this grant money will go to really establish what we can do with CO2 and how to convert it to products.
You're talking about converting this CO2 to products. You recently entered a partnership with Lululemon, which is a huge retailer here in the United States, clothing retailer, I should say. So exactly how is this technology going to work using carbon emissions to create a piece of textile that's going to be made into this consumer product?
Yeah, we're really excited about the partnership because it will allow consumers to actually see what you can do with waste. And so what we've done with Lululemon is we've taken emissions at a steel mill in China, we captured those and we converted them to ethanol. And then we converted that ethanol to polyester fiber with our partners IGL in India and Far Eastern in Taiwan. And so the fabric is then going to be made into consumer goods, into apparel. And it's really great, right? Because all of a sudden the consumer is going to be able to wear something that was made from carbon that would have ended up in the atmosphere. And that is so exciting, right? Who would have ever thought a steel mill emission could become your yoga pants?
So I mean, how did this partnership come about? I mean, for me, I just couldn't even, did Lululemon come up to you and say, you know, we're looking to be more sustainable, or, you know, how did this work out? Because it just, to me, it just seems, I personally, from a consumer standpoint, would never think of, oh, well, I hope someday they make clothes out of carbon emissions.
Yeah, absolutely, actually. Yeah. And so the way this one came about is actually Lululemon has an arm that scouts for new technologies that could help them with their carbon footprint. And they actually reached out through us through our webpage. And they said, hey, tell us about what you're doing. And then they realized that we actually had a commercial plant running, capturing steel mill gases and making product. And so then they said, well, okay, in that case, why don't we see if we can start making product? And no, they reached out to us. It was their idea to see how we could work with them.
Are you working with any other retailers right now or any other partners to kind of create new products that, you know, the normal person otherwise wouldn't think about would be made from carbon emissions?
Absolutely. So we have a partnership to take carbon emissions to aviation fuel, and we have quite a few partners there. So hopefully you'll be flying on that type of fuel soon. And then we also have made cleaning products. So there are cleaning products being sold from recycled carbon. I always like to say cleaning your floor while you're cleaning the sky. And then we have a partnership with Unilever, who has been also making detergents and surfactants from our recycled ethanol. So it's really a lot of fun. Mibel was the first one. Mibel is the one that's got the cleaning product, and that was introduced last year, and it's already being sold in Switzerland. So it's quite a pipeline of products. And so I like to say that maybe by the end of next year, everybody will be able to buy something made from recycled carbon in their stores, because we're going to have that type of a reach with all of our partners.
How much carbon are you offsetting when you're creating these new processes for companies?
Yeah, our plant in China has already made about 25 million gallons of ethanol that we're using to make other products. And that's equivalent to us preventing about 120,000 tons of CO2 from going out in the atmosphere. And that's without even considering the benefit of not having to have to take that much carbon out of the ground to make our all of these consumer goods, because they're all made from fossil carbon, right?
Touched on so many different topics. So I guess what kind of values or goals does Lonzotec abide by? It just seems so altruistic to be able to kind of work on these different technologies and research and develop things that are made from CO2. And as you said, are cleaning the sky, while providing these sustainable products as well.
Yeah, and we're a startup company, and we are a for-profit company, and our investors expect us to have a return. And I think that we can do both. I think we can do good while still creating value for our investors, and that's what we're doing. Um, you know, I really think new technologies like these will create jobs and other opportunities. We need to transition our economy, right? And I think as long as we're a capitalistic system, we're going to have to create value. And so that's what we're doing. It's not altruistic, but I can tell you that we get up in the morning and go to work and commit ourselves because we know we're making a difference, and we can make a difference.
And that really is the definition, in a capitalist society, of the intersection between people, profit, and planet.
That's right.
Yeah. So where do you see this company going in the future?
Well, I really want to show that everything you use in your daily life can come from some type of recycled carbon, some type of waste, and that includes municipal solid waste, but that also includes industrial emissions. And I'm really excited that over the next 18 months, we'll be able to show just that. And once we've done that, I think, I don't know, we'll see what happens then, but by then we should be profitable as well. So we're on a good trajectory right now to change, I hope, the way people think. And that's why what you're doing, talking to us, and what Lululemon is doing, I hope will change everybody's opinion, and they'll learn that, yes, I can wear something that was made from recycled carbon. And maybe that gets people thinking about what else is possible.
Thank you once again for joining me for this episode of Stef Talks Trash. For this and other episodes, please visit waste360.com.